Hi everyone, and welcome back to another DigiEduHack coaching call. Today we are going to cover the planning of your event if you are doing a blended event, meaning that your participants can take part online or on site. Or if you haven't decided which format you want to go with, this covers partially the on-site and partially the online events as well. So might be a good overview of the different aspects of the formats. We have separate calls for the on-site and online versions too, if you know that that's the format you are going to go with. Today we are going to cover the pros and cons of having a blended event. We're going to give you an example of a schedule of how you could structure your event, quite detailed. We're going to go through the different things you need to think about for the physical venue. We're going to go through what you need to think about for the digital workspaces, how you present the solutions now that you have both online and on-site teams, what kind of team you should think about to reserve for the event in terms of resourcing, what needs to be done, and what kind of social breaks you can think of for your blended event. Let's jump in. A big pro of having a blended event is, of course, the increased accessibility. It means that you can cater a very broad audience by giving the participants the chance to come on site if that's what they like to do. They are in the area, let's say, or they can choose to join online, either if it's more comfortable for them or convenient, or they're located somewhere where they would need to travel and get accommodation and so on for joining the event. You also get that face-to-face interaction, even though, again, the people that are more comfortable or it's better for them to join online, perfect. But that in-person benefit of being able to network and having that smooth small talk and kind of brainstorming together is a possibility for the ones that are joining on site as well. So you get that social engagement on both sides. You also have a bit of adaptability as an organizer. You can adapt the balance between the offline and online components so that you can definitely make sure that the balance is good. Of course, it's a bit of, let's say, extra work or juggling. You have to run an offline event and run an online event basically at the same time and then kind of merge those. So definitely in terms of resources and planning, you need to do a bit of double work to make sure that the experience is just as good for your on-site as your online participants. But a very nice way to run a hackathon when you have done the planning correctly. Let's go through a slightly detailed schedule. Again, some of these things you might already have done earlier in the hackathon process, and then you can skip them in the event part. But just to give you a sense of what kind of things could be included in the agenda. We advise you to have a very strict schedule and plan it carefully, communicated and so on to everyone, so that especially now that you are juggling both on-site and online participants, everyone knows what's happening at what times. They can plan their lives, both travels and their online kind of components accordingly. Of course, in a hackathon, it's a hectic event and things might happen, but if you have a very clear schedule to go from, you're better equipped to adapt to any changes or surprises, let's say. As you know, you're free to plan your hackathon in 24 hours straight, 12 hours on 2 days, 8 hours on 3 days, just so that in all in total, you get 24 hours over those week and a half of DigiEduHack days this year. Let's jump through the timeline or agenda here a bit more in depth. Of course, the event starts with an opening session. This is a very important step to kind of set the tone for the hackathon, bring everyone together. You make sure that everyone knows what's going to happen over the days. You trust that both your on-site and online participants know what to do and so on. I have a bit of a checklist here of things that you could cover in this session, but again, you plan it as it fits you. You can start with a welcome by the moderator or facilitator, the face of the hackathon, let's say, and then you will watch the DigiEduHack opening video that will be provided to you by the central team. Remember to thank your sponsors. Maybe your sponsors want to have a speaking slot to say a few encouraging words to the teams. Introduce your mentors and thank them in advance. Any other welcome speeches from your partners and so on. You can again introduce the core values of the event, code of conduct, making sure that everyone knows the core values. And then if you want to have a speaking slot to cover the challenge again, there are any requirements that you might have, or simply give some more inspiration on the challenge topic and so on. Remember to go over the schedule of the event as well. What's going to happen when, where does it happen, and so on, and any other relevant kind of logistical information. Anything in terms of the venue and the meals for the on-site teams. Do the door close at a certain time? Is there an alarm that will go off if they push a button somewhere? What's the Wi-Fi password, whatever the case may be? And for the online participants, how do they reach you? Where is the best communication channel? How do they chat with the mentors online? All of these things. If by the start of your hackathon, you still have participants without a team, you can matchmake them in a matchmaking workshop pretty early on in the hackathon, just so that they can then quickly get to work. This can be done already before the hackathon. You can have matchmaking sessions already before. You can chat with the registrants to your event already when they register, ask if they need help finding a team. So any of these matchmaking things can be done beforehand if you want, but you can also schedule in a session for this during the hackathon. Here you can have separate session, let's say, for the physical and the online teams, if you want to have a session for the on-site teams and form teams for those, and form completely online teams. If you want to do hybrid teams, up to you. But here you can have the single participants introduce themselves, their skills, their backgrounds, their interests. Maybe they have a topic that they would like to work on in the hackathon. And then you can either add interesting profiles to existing teams that kind of need some more complementary skills, or then form completely new teams out of these individuals. If you have a lot of individuals looking for teams with different profiles, remember that a diverse team with different perspectives is a very, very good one. But again, depending on how many people you have and what their profiles are, you do the formation as best you can. Similarly, if you have a situation where all of the teams don't have projects yet, you can kind of instruct them to have a self-guided ideation workshop. We have support materials for these in terms of solution canvases that the teams can fill in and kind of brainstorm to find a project idea that they then work on. You can involve your mentors in this, help the teams brainstorm. And again, this can be done in advance, but it can also be done at the beginning of the hack if you still have teams without ideas. The final thing again that can be done in advance, or it can be done at the hackathon, is the participants' ideas intro session. If your participants are in teams before the hackathon, they have ideas already, you can have a Meet the Mentors session as a pre-hack session. In this session, the teams introduce their team, their projects in just 1, 2, 3 minutes or so, and then they get some feedback in a few minutes from the mentors as well, so that they can already start the work immediately when the hackathon starts, and they already have some comments in the back of their head. If the mentors have never heard of the teams or their projects, it might be a good idea to have a session beginning of the hackathon where the teams do this this process at that time. So they tell about their project just on a high level in 1, 2, 3 minutes. The feedback, the mentors can give some feedback, and then the teams can get to work. This way, the teams get a bit of a sense of if they're working in the right direction immediately. The mentors get a better glimpse of what the teams are working on. Maybe they can identify some teams that they know they can help the best, fits their own personal profile, and so on. Throughout the hackathon, if you want, you can schedule in some workshops to give the participants a better sense of the challenge area, anything relevant to the challenge topic. If you have any tools or technology requirements of the teams, you can educate them on that. Again, if you do workshops, remember that you only have 24 hours in total, so keep them pretty short, to the point, very valuable, let's say, so that the teams don't lose too much time from their actual developing work by taking part in the workshops. But valuable workshops are a plus, definitely. I'll talk about this a bit more later as well, but do remember to schedule breaks, especially when the teams are working intensely on their project. It's tiring for the brain, so it's good to give them a bit of a break or a breather from the work every now and then. You can organize some physical activity. It can be a yoga instructor that you stream. It can be done both at the venue and streamed online, so that you can do this on site or online. You can have different games, both again online and on-site versions work very fine. It can be more of a networking and mingling discussion of different topics, karaoke, whatever the case may be. So something to give the teams a bit of a break from their work, and they get to kind of discuss a bit more with the mentors, judges, other teams, maybe network a bit more. Throughout the event, we also advise you to do some check-ins with the teams. You can either physically go from team to team or schedule a time with your online teams to have a few minutes of chat. How are they doing? How are they feeling? Are they stuck on something? Do they need help with something? What kind of mentor profiles would they like to be sent their way? Whatever the case may be. To keep things even more efficient in your 24 hours, you can also have the team simply fill in a check-in form where they answer these same questions. What's the status of their process or progress so far? Are they doing good? What kind of issues are they struggling with? What kind of help would they need? And then you can support them accordingly, send them some new mentors, reach out if there's something that you need to help them with and take action on. The mentoring is a very important part of the hackathon, and the mentors are there to support, advise participants based on their expertise, experiences, and so on. They should not give the solutions out right away or do the work for the teams, but rather advise them on things that they know have already been done. How did that work? What kind of tools have been used or could be used? Whatever the case is. Here you can think about how you want to facilitate the mentoring. Do teams book the mentors? Do they have an assigned mentors from beginning to end of the hackathon? Do you always assign new mentors based on those check-in requests so that you have new mentor expertise based on the team's process and new issues that they're struggling with? Do mentors pick the teams themselves? Everything is fine. Just remember to communicate this to both, again, the on-site and the online teams. Even if, let's say, your mentors would be mostly on-site and they are circling organically through your on-site teams, make sure that they also take a moment to jump online in an online call with the online teams too, so that they all get the same support and attention. On the second day, or second and third, or however you do it, day, we advise you to do a quick welcome back session again to gather the team, make sure everyone is still with you. Keep a short and to the point welcoming session, cover the schedule of the day, remind the teams of the end goal, meaning submitting their solutions and pitching, any other relevant information that you need here. If you want to make this a bit more interactive, you can have the teams tell you a bit about their experiences on the first day, how they're feeling going into day 2, and so on. Finally, all the solutions will be collected on the website, and you can find more info about this in the website guide as well. Each team needs to submit only one submission, so not every individual in a team needs to submit. There are solution canvases available for the teams, etc., as tools, but it is important that they submit their materials in the correct way, let's say. When that's done, the teams will, of course, get to showcase their solutions locally in your event for your jury. Again, here you can decide if the teams get 3 minutes, 5 minutes, what suits your agenda the best to present and defend their idea. Here you can decide if you want to have a Q&A as well. It means that the jury would listen to a, let's say, 3-minute pitch, and then get additional 3 to 5 minutes to ask more questions, and the team can elaborate a bit more. This way the jury can then use that when filling in the evaluation grid better. Or then if you want to skip the Q&A, you have a, let's say, 5-minute pitch, and then the teams, the judges fill in their evaluation grid solely based on this. And again, here, remember to think about that on-site and online kind of mix. Do you want to start with all of the on-site teams, then jump into the online teams? Do you want to do the other way? Might be easier to kind of divide them rather than jumping physically to a physical pitch and then an online pitch. But again, as you want to do it. No matter if you have a pitch and a Q&A or only a pitch, we suggest or recommend that you do a kind of deliberation chat with your jury members. It means that the jury will fill in their evaluation grid first, and then you kind of have a discussion about it, just to make sure that the jury members are aligned. You can come to a final consensus in ranking your teams. If you are, let's say, looking to identify top 3 teams in your hackathon event, you don't need to discuss all the teams, but simply, or you don't need to rank all the teams, but just make sure that you get that top 3. Regardless of how many teams you identify as winning teams in your own hackathon, you need to identify a grand winner, your top 1, that then will proceed to the DigiEduHack Global Award competition. Finally, in the event agenda, you would have the award and closing session. Have a short award ceremony, thank the teams, congratulate everyone for being involved, thank your mentors, jury members, sponsors, partners, so that is all covered, and then jump into distributing the prizes. Here it's very valuable to have the judges announce the winners. They've seen the moderator probably quite a lot, so it might be a bit more prestigious to hear the motivation behind why you were selected as a winning team from an actual jury member. If possible, you can collect some feedback on the non-winning teams from the jury members and pass it on. They surely will appreciate it, but again, you only have 24 hours, so we understand if that's not something that you can accommodate in that short time. We suggest that you collect some feedback as well. It's very valuable to learn what went right and what could be done better for next time. So collect feedback, for example, through a form from your online and on-site participants, mentors, judges, everyone involved. Before your grand winner leaves either the online session that you're in or the venue physically, make sure that they know what to do next. They have a few days to kind of tweak their materials, and then they need to submit it again on the DigiEduHack website. They need to get the link from you as a host from your own personal area. So you need to provide them with the link and let them know which category they are competing in out of those 9 categories. More about this you can find on the website guide and reach out to us if you need any help. Yes. And then our final things, the post activities. After your grant winner has submitted their solution in their award category, have a chat with your team, go through what went right, what can you do better next time, analyze the feedback, have a debrief call with your sponsors and partners, write a blog article, post on social media, anything that you want to kind of tie the bag of your hackathon event. For the physical venue, a few things to take into account. First of all, the accessibility. Do you need a key to get in, or how do you enter the venue? How many do you need? Is it just for the organizer team? Do you want to have keys for your mentors, participants? Is it accessible for people, let's say, in wheelchairs or similar? Are there parking spots? How do you get there by public transport? All of these things. Think about the size and capacity as well. How many on-site participants are you looking to host? Do you have a presentation area for the pitches and the opening session? Do you have working stations for the teams, a relaxing area, somewhere where the mentors can kind of have their base when they're not mentoring, and so on. For the working areas, a co-working open space works fine, but try to ensure that the teams have some privacy. Don't put them too close to another team. Maybe have some space dividers, or then if you have different rooms, everything works just fine. Regardless of the format, try to ensure some private rooms so that the teams can take a blended meetings. It means that maybe they have half of their team online and half on-site, and they want to have calls. They want to have calls with an online mentor. An on-site mentor wants to have a call with an online team, all of these things. So try to have some private rooms and make sure that you can have both on-site and online discussions in your venue. As I said, a space for the presentation, meaning the opening, maybe your workshops, the pitching, the award ceremony. Make sure that you have some sort of stage area, chairs, big screen, mics, the audio works, you're able to share your screen on the big slide, all of this. You will need internet access, so a good Wi-Fi that again is able to host as many people as you are hosting at the event. Make sure that you have power outlets for all of the teams. Each team working table should have at least as many power outlets as they are individuals in the team, just so that they can stay charged throughout the event. Make sure that you take the catering into consideration. How will you set that up? And then that you have some sort of rest area for the teams and the mentors to kind of relax if needed. For the digital workspaces, when running a blended hackathon, you need to take a few things into consideration, both in terms of video communication and text communication. We give you some recommendations in the host guide. If you have tools that you're comfortable with and you know that you want to use, that's the one you should go with. But it might be easiest for you to use the same tool for both main needs. For the video communication, we mean first of all, the official communication, meaning the opening, pitching, awards, and so on, as well as any blended interactions. It means video calls between teams and mentors, team members, teams and organizers, so kind of more private chats. So for this, you need to use an online meeting tool. When you set this up physically, you can use or try to use it so that you can have the facilitator or whoever is speaking visible. Maybe you can have the audience present and visible so that you can get that kind of communication view as a participant. Make sure that you have microphones for anyone that you want to be heard in the online setting as well when you're physically on site. In the Q&A, or if you do this for the pitches, make sure that you have a good sense of the jury is heard online. You as a moderator are heard for the online teams, but also so that the on-site teams get a good experience. You can use, let's say, the DigiEduHack Discord event space and create a stage channel for those official sessions. And there you can have everyone join, and you can have several speakers and so on. The teams can also create their own private text and video chats in Discord. You can also do it for them. And if you have any difficulties with this, let us know. For the text communication, again, you can think about the structure of the tool. What kind of things do you need? You will need some private spaces for each team. It means, again, that they are there, they can chat together, share links and anything within the team members. The mentors can chat with the teams in their own channels. You as an organizer can jump into a team channel and make sure that they are fine. For this, as said, in Discord, if that's the way you choose to go, you can create a text channel for a team and an audio channel for the team for voice and video calls. This way you can chat with the team here, and if you decide to jump into a video call and have a face-to-face chat, you can do that in their voice channel. You can also create spaces or channels for the mentors, both a public mentor support channel where the teams can request help. Maybe you want to do a private channel for organizers and mentors if they want to raise any concerns, a channel for your judges, open channels for resources, announcements, organizer support, whatever the case is and whatever you feel is needed. But make a clear structure here so that all of the participants know how to reach you regardless of their format. When it comes to pitching or presenting the solutions, a few things to take into consideration now that you're dealing with both online and on-site teams. One way to go forward here is to have the same pitching format for all the teams. It's a possibility here that let's say all of the teams record a pitch video. For the online teams, this means that if you go into an online meeting and you want to do a live pitch and you share your screen and you have some glitches or your audio doesn't work or the slides are not in coordination with your speech, anything can happen. The camera gets grainy or whatever the case is. If you do a pre-recorded pitch video, you already know that your pitch is going to be the right amount of minutes. You don't need to stress about it. It will work. Of course, doing a pitch video in an on-site setting might not be ideal. Then you would first stream the video and then the team would go up on the stage for the Q&A with the jury. It's completely fine. Then everyone has the same format. But of course, if you want to do a more, let's say, differentiated version, you can also have the on-site teams pitch as a traditional pitch. They go up on the stage, they have their slides on the big screen, and they do a normal speaking pitch. And then the online teams do a pitch video or an online live pitch, kind of like I am doing now, sharing my screen and talking through it. So completely up to you. What's most important here is that you communicate this to the teams already in advance, that on-site teams will be doing a pitch like this, the online teams will be doing their pitch like this. Or then you can give all of these options and the teams can choose how they want to pitch, whatever is easiest for you and whatever feels fairest. However you do it, just communicate it early so that it's clear, and then this way it doesn't come up as unfair when the teams suddenly notice that they're doing the pitches in different ways. Be mindful that your grand winner will be doing an online live timed pitch. So if you want to rehearse that already in your hackathon, then you skip the pre-recorded pitch videos. But everything works fine here, just so that you know exactly your options. For the resourcing, you have to cover a few things. So you can think about this checklist and see how many people you would need in your organizer team. For the on-site resources, you need to cover hosting the event itself. So someone who is the moderator, the face of the hackathon, let's say, including hosting the opening, the closing of the event, the pitching, the award ceremony, the jury deliberation, all of these official sessions. You also have someone that will facilitate the teams and the mentors' work, making sure that you have a good, they know exactly who to talk to, there's a good mentoring going on. You have coffee, you have snacks available at all times. If you, let's say, order pizzas, you have someone who takes up the pizza boxes so that the space is remaining clean and fresh, all of these things. You might also need someone to make sure that the microphones are working, the audio works, the presentation materials, meaning the big screen that you have works, everything in terms of technical things. And then someone to just make sure that the mentors are taken care of, jury members are welcomed and briefed, just so that everyone knows what to do. For the online resources, you need someone to set up those communication channels, let's say a Discord if that's what you use. So you need to set up those team channels, the public channels, the private mentor channels, make sure that all of the participants, mentors, judges are added to the right workspaces and channels. You have to have some support behind the scenes during the video meetings to monitor microphones if someone is unmuted and they should be muted. You can monitor the chat while your host is in front of the camera. Maybe access the audience, let someone in from the waiting room, all of these things. And then, of course, having someone as an on-call person in that online space, making sure that the mentors and teams are chatting in the channels. They have a way of meeting face-to-face in video calls. They are active, and you don't see anyone struggling with using the tools. And finally, to give the participants, as said, a break from their intense work, it's a good idea to prepare a social energy boost to provide a breather for the teams. This can be, again, playing any online games or any games that you can do both on site and online. Or then, as said, do some yoga or do some just other networking or whatever games or activities you can come up with. The most important here is to try and bring all of your participants on site and online together, foster that interaction across teams and not only having teams discuss with their own team. So try to make it as interactive as possible, however you choose to do this. And lastly, remember to take pictures and videos of your event. If you're at the venue, ask your online teams to take pictures of where they're working from, what are their home offices looking like. Use the Share Experience channel to share this with us and the other hackathons, post on your social media, and use our hashtag so that we can feel like we're taking part of your events when we see your posts. You don't have to wait until the very end. You can post immediately as you go. We'll highlight some local events as well throughout the hackathon days. So we are very eager to take part of your hackathons remotely, and we ask you to share your experiences with us. That is that in a nutshell about the Blended event. If there is anything that you're wondering or you want feedback on, or you want us to brainstorm with you in terms of prepping the venue or setting up the tools, catering, whatever the case may be, reach out to us either on Discord or the email that you can see on the screen. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you again in our next coaching calls.